Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Slim Tati and this is July Talk, which is adoption.
According to Wikipedia, adoption is a process whereby a person assumes the parenting of another, usually a child, from that person's biological or legal parent or parents. Legal adoptions permanently transfer all rights and responsibilities, along with filiation, from the biological parent or parents.
I have 5 of my friends that are going to be helping me out to actually talk about their perspective about adoption. And if you have any comment or any opinion, definitely you guys have opinions pertaining to this adoption. So please kindly drop your perspective or your opinion in the comment section. I'll be willing to read. I always read all my comments. Thank you so much to my YouTube family that sent me a message saying they've not received the notification for this month. Thank you guys. Thank you for always keeping a tab on my monthly talks. I really appreciate it.
Hi guys, my name is Oluwabusola Dejo and I'm just going to get straight to the point. Yes, I have thought about adoption before, and yes, I definitely still want to adopt. I don't know how many kids I want to adopt yet, but yeah, it's something I've thought about and it's something I'm still thinking about, and it is definitely a part of my long-term goals as a parent when I become a parent. Why? I think that it is a no-brainer for me. I have always loved children. Even when I was a child myself, I've always been good with babies and children, and I have a passion for them. I have a charity organization focused solely on children at the moment, and yeah, they are just my passion. I want to see children have the best care possible, have the best opportunities, be protected because they need to be protected, and adoption is definitely a way to do that in the most fundamental way, because the family is the most fundamental unit of the society. So yeah, I definitely want to adopt. Gender, I honestly have not thought about a gender or the genders. In all honesty, that is like the least of my worries. So the thing for me pretty much is that I want a lot of children, and I also want to experience childbirth and pregnancy and the whole shebang, but I don't want to do it many times. I don't want to do it more than like twice or 3 times, but I want a lot of children in my house. I want to have kids just playing around. I want them to grow up together and everything, and the reasonable option is adoption. And yeah, I feel like a lot of people should adopt more. Would I let my kids know? First of all, they are all going to be my kids. I think that being an African, and more specifically being a Nigerian, is it's low-key, it sort of frowns against adoption. And even when you do adopt, there's this culture of just keeping it hush hush and not letting people know. Some people even won't even let the child that was adopted even know that they were adopted. So but I see no significance in it. I think that it's just the stigma surrounding it that makes it seem like such a bad thing. It is honestly not a bad thing. People are doing, it's just another way of starting a family, of getting a family. People are doing IVF these days. They are getting surrogates and all of that. Adopting a child is just one other method of starting a family. It's not a big deal in the way people make it seem, and we need to normalize adoption. I don't think there needs to be a fuss about, oh, will we tell the child? Of course I'm going to tell the child. Of course everybody is going to know that the child is adopted. But the thing is that there is not going to be a difference in the way that I treat my biological kids, because they are all my kids. It's just that the adopted child or children, they don't carry my genes or their father's genes as well. That is the only difference. I don't think that it's that much of a big deal. And I think that there are so many children in the world now, and there always has been that need families to take them in. And yeah, I feel like everybody needs to look into adoption a lot more. And I think that as young adults, as the new generation of people coming up, I think that we need to remove the mentality that our parents had or have from our own minds, because I feel like this is the way you just recycle cultures that don't really make any sense, that don't really serve any useful purpose. So yeah, we need to unlearn a lot of the things that we've learned. Adoption is very normal, very very natural. Like, there's nothing wrong with adopting a child. How will I manage the relationship? So that's the thing. Like I said, I feel like it's the stigma surrounding adoption that makes it an issue of, oh, okay, how do I manage the relationship? How do I children are I have been around children a lot, and I know that children are honestly just children. They learn from what you show them. If you show them that we are all equal, not just even on the matter of adoption, on the matter of gender, on the matter of race, and so on, I feel like they are just going to, see everybody equally. It won't be an issue if you, as their parent, are not discriminatory. If you're not a discriminatory parent, if you're not a discriminatory person as a parent, then you most likely will not have children who are discriminatory, especially if show them, you live by example, and you show them how they are supposed to be. I don't think that there will be a problem where it's like, oh yeah, you're adopted and I'm not adopted, and so you're more privileged than I am. If you, as the parent, don't make it a thing, like if you don't make it obvious, like if you treat each and every one of them equally, then I don't think that there will be a problem. I think that the problem actually starts from the parents, and secondarily from the society as well. Society also has that thing where it's just like, yeah, the adopted child is less than the biological child, which honestly does not make sense to me. So I think that we all just need to unlearn a lot of the things that we've learned from our parents, from our grandparents, from society at large. Why is adoption a good or a bad idea? I think that essentially adoption is a good idea, for the most part. I think that adoption is a good idea for the most part. I think maybe the only downside that you may have to adoption is having the birth or the biological parents coming, a few months or years later and trying to claim the child after you've gotten attached. I think that is, in my own opinion, from my own point of view, that is like the only downside that I see. And I feel like that's the reason why if you're going to adopt, you adopt for the child. You don't adopt for any selfish reason. The best interest of the child is what should be your own priority. Like, it's not about you or or the biological parents or anybody else. It's about the well-being of the child, which honestly is easier. I feel like it's easier said than done. I feel like now I'm saying it's because I'm not a parent yet, and I've not adopted any children yet, but in theory and basically that should be the priority. Like I said, it's easier said than done, but we need to always remind ourselves of this. So yeah, thank you.
Hey guys, how you doing today? So first and foremost, I'll first put a definition to adoption. So adoption is basically taking someone else's child and bringing this child to your family, and you're solely responsible for this child you're bringing into the family. And before adoption, there's some requirements that are going to be in place, like you have to go through some background checks, so that if you're a victim of violence, or you have violence case on your record, the government need to check it. And you need to be mentally, physically, financially stable, psychologically stable. You don't want to adopt a child and, start messing up with the child. That's not what I'm talking about. I know that it happens in America that, a lot of people want to adopt children because they want some, stipends from the government so that they can spend these stipends on themselves and as well as on the child. So it's like a mutual benefit. That's not what adoption is talking about. If you're adopting genuinely, like, it doesn't matter if you have children or not. Some people adopt because they don't have children, but it doesn't even matter. You can adopt a child because you just want to impact life, you want to be a role model, you want to inspire people, you want to give someone else's growth, you want to inspire somebody. So asking about the first question, saying, do I feel like I want to adopt a child? Yes, I've thought about it before that. My greatest passion is to take care of people, to see people around me, to talk to people, to give someone, life, to give some children discipline, that's what I like. So I already thought about it, like, well, before, I can do that, I need to reach a mutual consensus with, my wife, when I'm married rather. So once we reach a mutual agreement, like, there must be an agreement. So reaching an agreement, we can say, okay, we're going to adopt a child. So talking from there. Second question, talking about male or female. I feel that there should be gender inequality. If you're trying to adopt, a child, we could go for male, we could go for female, we could go for both. So it doesn't matter. So going to the third question, telling my kids about it, about, adopted kid. It's important to be transparent to your family. One of the greatest things you can do to your kids is to let them know that, oh, she's an adopted kid, but she's your family, because it's important. Your brothers, your sisters, you treat them, teach them how to love each other, teach them how to be together, teach them how to be responsible together, just teach them how to grow together. It's very important. So managing the situation in my family is it's going to be good, Adopting a child is not a death sentence. It's not a problem. It's just, impacting people's life. We could as well as go outside there and, give people's life. You can, help people, inspire them, give them growth. Let them, just do good things to people. So with this, I guess I've, talked about what adoption is, if I'm going to adopt, yes or no. So, so I would like you to, check this YouTube video, share with people, bring more opinions in. Don't say I'm way too opinionated. Come with different opinions. If you want to talk about it, just, you can chat up Slim Toddy, just make comments on the video. We'll give you a platform to talk about it. We'll give you a chance to talk about it. And, guys, appreciate you for watching. Take care. Have a good day.
I'm Tori.
And I'm Timmy.
And today we'll be answering questions for Slim Toddy's adoption question for, is it August? July. For July. So the first question is, have you ever thought of adopting a child? If yes or no, why? So for me, I think if you'd asked me this question 5 years ago, I would have been like, yes, I'm going to adopt. But now I feel like I'm a bit more not really thinking of adoption as the first option.
Really?
I would say no. Yeah, it's not like my first option. It's more of a later on type thing. But like, I think a lot of people might want to have their own kids first before they think of adoption. What about you?
Yeah. Oh well, I think for me, I've had the same opinion since like when I was younger about adoption. So always wanted to adopt. Reasons being that I would like to give someone else the same opportunities that I've been able to have, like someone that's not just my child that I'm doing this for, like someone that I know that they wouldn't have those same opportunities basically. So yeah. male or female. I don't really think that matters. I don't think it matters to me anyways. Okay, but I guess it depends on at what point I actually adopt the child. Like if I already had like a male child, I might want a female definitely.
Yeah,
because
but I think my first option would definitely be a girl. I don't know.
I know.
It's like I relate and I get them and I'll be able to like raise the child.
Yeah.
Is would you let your kids know about the adopted kid and how would you manage relationship with the whole family? Like I said, I'm not really sure I'd want to adopt as a first option. It would be like a second, third, fourth option. That's just my opinion. But if I was going to adopt a kid after I've had my own kid, then I think I owe the explanation to my family that they know that the child is adopted. But if you're having the child and you've never had a child before, it would be a very strange conversation to have, like, you know, but you'd have to tell the child that, you know, I had you in my heart, but like, we're not biologically related. And this is the struggle that I get with adoption. Like, they have to then, a lot of the time you find a lot of adopted kids having to go back to find their roots and things
So
like
that's
that.
why you don't want to. I think for me, I guess they would know, right, that they're adopted, and then my other kids would know, but that's your brother or sister.
Yeah,
so I don't
exactly.
expect any like
Preferential treatment.
no preferential treatment
No
for
bullying.
my kids and none for the adopted kid as well. Like, it's all gonna be the same. If one person is getting something, then everybody is getting that thing. So yeah, I think that's how. And I think this is also very important. Like, how your extended family accepts the adopted child is also something that you have to put into consideration. Like,
you have to warn them.
Thank you.
You don't
You have to be
like,
very clear, especially Nigerian families.
yeah, it's so rude. You'll be like, oh, mommy wants it, and then everyone's like, hey, how are you? Like, you just make the children feel so excluded, and it's
so
wrong.
excluded. So yeah, so for the next question, it is, why is adopting a child a good or a bad idea? So I know people have their own reasons as to why adoption may be a bad idea, but I think that it would be a good idea. And I think adoption shouldn't also be the last option for people, like, because there's there's so many people in need, guys. Like, if you can just help someone, like, just give someone else that same chance that you have, someone that you know otherwise wouldn't be able to get that, then I think it's a wonderful idea. And you also don't have to like sign legal papers for it to be like
because not necessarily that a lot of families actually take on people and raise them. Technically, that's like adoption as well.
Exactly,
but
it's
it's
also
not
adoption.
like legal papers and shit. Like they're still your kid, but like you raise them. I think that adopting a child is a good idea. Whether you're doing it for selfish reasons or you're doing it, well, hopefully you're not doing it for selfish reasons. But I think for the good of humanity, there are a lot of.
What is that?
The woman that adopted a disabled child and then returned it, and those are selfish reasons.
And also people that adopt children so that they can be washing plates, guys.
Yeah, that's wrong. Like,
That's
adopt a child because you love the child and you want to make an impact in their life. And if adoption is not for you, it's not for you. That's fine. But I think there's nothing bad about adopting a child.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think so, because there's a lot of kids that need good homes and they need good environments to be raised in. And if you think you can offer that, then 100% go for it. Like,
do
it's
it.
the best thing.
Yeah.
I think we just want to say something finally. We know a lot of people struggle with adoption because the child is not theirs. And also there's the whole adopted kids going back to live for their parents. And then, as the people that raise them, some people feel somehow.
Yeah, it's kind
that.
of hurtful.
Yeah, after you spend so much of your time, effort, and energy,
resources.
Yeah, to take care of someone else, and then just like, oh, I want to find my parents.
I need to know where my roots are.
I don't know where I come from. It's very, very disheartening.
Yeah.
But think of it as doing good for the world, and no matter what happens, those kids are your kids. No matter who gave birth to them or who conceived them or whatever the circumstance of their birth is.
Yeah.
If you adopt the child is yours. That's it.
That's it. And also, I think like don't think about the fact that you've done so much for the kid and they left you. We need to remember that no matter what an adopted child does to you, it could have also been your child.
100%.
Like, your child, they're also like terrible kids, like parents doing so much for their own kids and they abandon them when they need them the most. So don't just have it at the back of your mind that, oh, this is a child that I didn't need to do this for. Like, it's your contribution to the world. So just do it. Like, if you're going to do something, don't think of the benefits that you could get later. Just do it.
Do it from God. Act of God. Do it from God. The time that our parents have been like, if not because you're my child. It's the same way to adopted kids. Like, it comes both ways. So
there'll be times like that. So just, all in all, we think it's a good idea. Yeah, all in all. In conclusion, guys, adopt if you can.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Ayodeji Ogunleye and I'm doing this for Slim Thirty's YouTube page. The question is, have I ever considered adopting a child? Yeah, I've always considered adopting a child because I think I have a really soft spot for suffering kids, less privileged kids, kids in vulnerable conditions, and motherless kids. I think I've always had extremely soft spot for them, and everybody that knows me knows how much of a soft spot I have for the suffering and less privileged. Would I consider the gender, male or female? I don't think that would be a preference for me. I don't think I have preference when it comes to like the gender. As far as the kid and actually needs help, I don't think I would consider the gender. Would I want to tell my family? Yeah, definitely I want to tell my immediate family, because I feel like for a person like me to raise a family, to be family that is totally understanding, supportive and caring. So yeah, if I decide to want to adopt a child at any point in my life, I think they will totally understand and be in support of it. Because for future purposes and safety reasons, I think it's just nice that I let them know about it. My kids and my wife when I have one, I will let them know about it, and I don't think it will be a problem for me. I think they will totally understand it. Apart from my immediate family, I don't think I want any other person to know. Nobody will be even able to figure out which is my kid and which is not my kid from the kids I'm going to raise and the less privileged child. Why do I think it's a good idea? The world is a really big place, yeah? It's a really big place, and I think it's just right to lend as much help as you can at any point in time, yeah? I think we all needed help to grow up or be who we are at any point in our lives, which I think is just the right thing to do, which is to help raise other people to get to every potential that they want to at any point in their lives. I think that's just why I think it's a great idea to always want to support and help any child that needs help. Thank you.
Hi guys, welcome back to Slim Thirty's channel. My name is Happiness, and today's topic, or July's topic, is about adoption. And I was sent a message to give my 2 cents towards adoption. So the first question she asked me was, have I ever thought of adopting a child? If yes, why? And if no, why too? I actually am a big fan of adoption. I know it kind of sounds wrong. I don't know, for some people it might sound wrong, but I've always been someone that has grown up with the idea of at least adopting one child, even if I have my own children. And I feel like it's something that I consider, and because in my marriage I will not be the only person, right? So I have to talk to my partner, and if my partner is okay with it, I definitely am adopting a child. That's after I finish burying my children though. And the second question is male or female, and why? To be honest, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't, male, female, anyone, as long as I can take somebody out that orphanage home and make their life a little better. It doesn't matter the gender to me. And the third question is, would you let your child know about the adopted kid, and how would you manage the relationship with the whole family? So that's a good question. I feel like I would let my children know about the adopted kid, but then I would let them know when they have reached the stage of understanding what's going on, right? I wouldn't tell like a 5-year-old, because I know like I don't know if they'll be comfortable with that kind of information. I think that will be oversharing an information with a kid that is 5 years old. So at the age of 18, I'll probably tell everybody, bring them to the table and let them know that one of their siblings adopted. And I feel like managing managing it with the family, I don't think that's big of a deal, because if they see that they have grown up together, I don't think that me telling them the news that maybe one of their siblings is adopted will change anything. So I feel like, honestly, I'll tell them maybe at the age of 18, when I know that they can fully understand things. And I don't know what else to say, but I'll tell them when I know that they can fully understand what's going on, not when they're like kids, like babies. So thank you guys for watching this. I hope to see you guys on the next month's talk. Bye.
Sounds by Daiko. Sounds by Daiko.